Hey math kids, today we're going to talk about equations of the form x squared equals k, and we are in section 4a in your textbook. So let's just get going. So we're starting on example 1. So 3x squared minus 1 equals 8, and 5 minus 2x squared equals 11. Okay, so we just want to solve for x. So we add 1, 3x squared equals 9. Then we divide by 3. X squared equals 3. So that followed just some regular algebra that you're probably used to. This part is where it's a little bit different. So we square root. Whenever we introduce a square root into a problem, we have to do a plus or minus. The reason why we have to do that is if we think of the situation where some number squared equals 4. Well, we all know that 2 squared equals 4, and that's true. So if we just square root both sides, we get a 2. We feel happy about that. The problem is negative 2 squared also equals positive 4, because negative times negative would be a positive. And so we have 2 answers that would make this true, and that's why we need the positive and the negative. That's what this plus or minus helps us with, and make sure that we get all of the answers that make that true. Okay, on this one, we would subtract 5. So we have negative 2x squared equals 6. And then we need to divide by negative 2. X squared equals negative 3. Square root both sides. We can't take, we're interested in just real solutions right now. And so we can't take a square root of a negative number when we only care about real numbers. So we're going to say no real solutions. Okay. Now let's move on to example 2. Wants us to solve for x again. For that problem as well as this problem. Okay, so we're going to start off with square rooting both sides. So we're going to get x plus 3 equals plus or minus 6, because the square root of 36 is 6, and we introduced the square root, so we need the plus or minus. Now we're going to subtract 3 from both sides, and that's going to create 2 different problems. That's going to create x is equal to 6 minus 3, as well as x is equal to negative 6 minus 3, because that's what the plus or minus means. So this one becomes x equals 3. This one becomes x equals negative 9. And we just slap an or, so x could be 3 or negative 9 on that one. Now on this one, it's going to be fairly similar. We do square root on both. X minus 4 equals plus or minus square root of 7. And we add 4, x equals 4 plus or minus root 7. Since we can't combine the 4 without a radical and the 7 with a radical, we can just leave it as 4 plus or minus square root of 7, which means 4 plus root 7 and 4 minus root 7. That's another way you could write your answer. That's all we have on this video. If you need additional help, come to Math Lab and calculator.